All right, Jerry, thank you very much. Coach, 52-21 victory over Washington, 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in the Pac-12. And I just thought, what a sharp performance by your team tonight overall.
Really proud of how our guys not only came out and played in the first half, but finished. And it's we thought we watched them play against Stanford, and they had a big win 10 days ago, and we knew we were going to get their best shot, and it was about us making sure we do what we do, and I think our guys really understood the game plan, and they executed it.
And causing turnovers obviously were a big part of this game. Executed offense, executed defense, and then created those turnovers, and you guys scored off of them. Four touchdowns off of turnovers.
Yeah, and that's what we preach, and that's what we practice is response after turnover is our biggest deal. And what do we do in those situations? And when the defense gives it to us, it's our responsibility offensively to do something with it. And our defense is playing at a pretty high level right now, and I think our offense feeds off of that. So, I think it's the third week in a row we've scored a defensive touchdown. So. Everybody's pulling for each other, and you can kind of feel the emotion on the sideline.
Anytime you run for 300 yards, that means your offensive line is blocking well, and the running backs are running well because of what that line's doing. I thought they did an excellent job tonight of moving the line of scrimmage and protecting your quarterback.
They did, and we preach it takes 11, and it takes the guys up front, and it takes our receivers blocking downfield, and then when you can, partner that with play action pass, which Marcus is doing a great job of, it really makes it, a difficult package to defend. So, we're happy and we're excited where we are right now. So.
Thought he was real steady tonight. You talk about Marcus, 15 of 24, 198 yards, 4 touchdowns, 40 yards rushing, and really bought some extra time on some plays that turned into big positive plays.
He did, and that's the great thing about him is that he can keep plays extended with his feet, but he's looking to throw. He's not always looking to run. If they force him to run, he's obviously got the speed to take off and go, but you look at the one he scrambled and found Huff and ends up with a touchdown is that really adds a huge dimension to your offense when your quarterback when things break down, can buy some time because it's really difficult to stay in coverage for that long.
One of the things your defense did tonight, again, for the third week in a row, it seems, is not give up any explosion plays, really controlling the offense, making Washington earn everything, and eventually they would make a mistake. Your defense just didn't give up the explosion plays.
Yeah, and we've been great at that, and we talk about X plays all the time defensively, and our numbers are dramatically down from years past, and that's a sign of a good defense when you can stop explosion plays.
And scoring on defense, you mentioned it. Avery Patterson jumped a pattern again, was able to get underneath it, and again, the defense is scoring points, not just making plays and stopping the opposing team.
Yeah, and that's, again, it's a team effort, and that's what we're getting. We're getting a total team effort from everybody involved, and when you're clicking like that, it's a good thing. So.
Well, you head into a little bit of time off. It's not a ton of time off. 11 days to your next game. Travel down to Arizona State. Very tough Sun Devil team. How do you approach these next 11 days?
We got a plan. It's an improvement week for us, and we've always used it that way. There's a lot of things we need to continue to work on. So we'll give them a couple days off in between and practice, and then really next Saturday is like a Monday for us because we play on Thursday night. So we got a plan in place in terms of what we're going to get accomplished. There's a little rest in there a little bit, but we still have to get better as a football program. Everybody does. So.
Okay, Coach. Well, congratulations again on the big victory over Washington tonight. We'll talk to you next week in Tempe.
Thanks, Shorby.
All right, Jerry, back up to you.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and open with questions.
Chip, about Marcus specifically, a couple of things coming out of last week he was talking about was one to kind of avoid contact at some of the end of his running plays, and also one of his interceptions he felt like maybe he could have checked it down. It seemed like tonight he was really patient, buying time, like you say. Maybe checking down, I don't know for sure, but that's what it looked like. And
good,
also,
good. You're on point.
He ran out of bounds a couple times rather than avoid some contact. How does this fit in terms of his progression week to week over the course of the season? I mean, he showed dramatic improvement today in some of those areas?
Yeah, I'm not a big dramatic word guy, but I mean he showed improvement, and that's one thing that's awesome about Marcus is very rarely does he make the same mistake twice. And you got to put him in a game and let the game express itself, and then kind of coach off of it. But there's always seems to be constant improvement. And he's a real thirsty kid. He always wants to get better. He's always asking questions, and I think how he played tonight is I don't think it was a surprise to us. It's what we've seen him do. But he's learning every day out there, and it's kind of fun to watch him, kind of make it. Well, it's not fun to watch him make a mistake, but it's fun to watch him learn from the mistake and improve. And that's one thing that's awesome about him. So I think he played really well tonight, and if he can play at that level, then I think we're going to be pretty good.
Coach, 3 weeks in a row you've had pick six by your defense. What is it that they are doing in preparation? Is this primarily from film study, or what is it that they're doing that's
I think it's everything. You know, we pride ourselves on our preparation. You know, the three things we control is our preparation, our effort, and our attitude. And that's not in anybody's hands. It's in ours. And you know, this group really does a great job of understanding the game plan that the coaches put in on Mondays and really are practicing at a high level right now. And what you're seeing on Saturday, you know, is a culmination of the week of work. And I think our guys understand that. You know, when we play well on Saturday, it's not by happenstance. It wasn't, you know, we just showed up today and, hey, the ball kind of bounced our way. Is that, you know, luck favors a prepared mind. And we talk about that all the time. And, you know, you make your own good luck. And that's what we do. So.
Questions? Raise your hand.
Chip, receivers had a good night tonight. Specifically, Josh, what's it like to have Josh back in the lineup and perform well? And Will seems to really be such a great go-to guy. He seems to be he catches everything near him. His performance really played well tonight, I thought.
Yeah, and you know, we had Josh back last week, so we had our full complement of guys. And you know, the great thing about Will Murphy, it's a great example to everybody, is Will Murphy is practicing at an extremely high level, and conversely, he's playing at a really high level. You know, and it's a great teaching thing for us as coaches to say, you know, look how he's preparing, look what his effort like, look what his attitude's like, and then look at the success he's having on the field. So, you know, the great thing about this game is that you get out of it exactly what you put into it, and you can't fake it. You know, you can't fake your preparation during the week and then get between the white lines on Saturday and expect to perform very well. And Murph's a great example of that, and we'll continue to point that out to our guys. And you know, real happy for how Murph's playing right now.
Any other questions, guys? Okay.
It's rivalry week. You guys don't have a lot of questions during rivalry week?
We got one over here in the corner.
Coach, I'm over here from the islands doing a story on the Island Boys. I wonder if you could maybe talk about what they bring to the team as a group.
They bring a lot. First off, macadamia nuts. We just somehow in our office, macadamia nuts keep showing up all the time. It's either a gift from Mrs. Mariota, Mona Greg's family, the Forrest family. We've got a great group of guys, you know, and they're all from, you know, some of them are from the same high school, but we got, you know, we're kind of spread out between Punahou and Kamehameha and St. Louis and whatnot, and Waianae with Wade, and it's they're awesome. You know, their attitudes, you know, they've got a poise to them and you know, a calmness to them, but they also are really warriors, and they'll compete. And we got a great group, and we're really excited about it. And it doesn't stink as a coach to recruit Hawaii, so I hope there's more guys over there, and we'll continue to be making those trips if we can continue to find guys like Marcus and DeForest and Wade. You know, we got a great group right now, and you know, we're excited about those guys.
Cold had a really good game, 2 touchdown catches plus. He ran the ball. What does his versatility mean to the team?
Just like I said, you know, I think it's another weapon for us to kind of be able to add in there. You know, and when, you know, a difficult decision is who's going to get all the carries. You know, usually sometimes you know, we got to rely on one guy, but you know, you have Kenyon, you have DeAnthony, you got Colt, you got Byron Marshall. You know, we got some guys at the running back spot right now that I think can contribute, and then, you know, being a threat from the tight end position, which he is today, because he can stretch the field and get down the field, and then obviously, you know, that leaping grab he made, you know, in the red zone was a huge play for us. But again, it doesn't allow people to just zone in and try to take away one aspect of it, because we feel like we have weapons at wide out, we have weapons at tight end, we obviously have weapons at quarterback and weapons at running back. So.
Coach, you mentioned rivalry week. Did you feel like the guys had a little extra juice for this one tonight?
Every week's a rivalry week for us, so you know, we get excited about that. And you know, you can shrug your shoulders, but I'll tell you what, our formula for success has worked every single time. So, you know, maybe more people should look at it like we do. You know, I mean, if you don't give the utmost respect to your opponent, I don't care who you play, whether you're playing Washington State, Oregon State, Stanford, USC. I've never understood the concept. Let's circle 2 nights and say, hey, let's beat Washington, let's beat Oregon State. We go 2-10. I'm not going to be sitting here next year. I'll tell you that right now. So every single game we play is the most important game we play. And there's no reason to focus on one game more than another. But it doesn't diminish what we think of Washington. I thought that was a tremendous team. They had a huge win over Stanford, and they had our attention 100%. And I hope our guys learn from this and continue to do the same thing when we play Arizona State, because Arizona State is the next rivalry that we're going to play. And if we continue to do that, then I think good things are going to happen to us. But the whole message I send to our team is, why would you diminish another opponent and build up one opponent just because there's a proximity from a distance? I think Washington's a great program. Steve Sarkisian is a good friend of mine. I don't understand the hatred. I don't hate Sark. I don't hate Mike Riley. I know people get mad when I say that, but How can you hate Mike Riley? Have you ever met him? You don't hate him. How can you hate Steve Sarkisian? I don't hate him. We're going to compete our tails off when we get an opportunity to go against those guys. But, we don't get caught up in that because everybody better get our utmost attention. Because if you don't, you're going to get knocked off. And we point that out to our teams all the time. Look at teams that lost so far this year because maybe they didn't give that opponent that they were playing that rivalry tag. So every game we play is a rivalry game. It works for us, and we'll continue to do it.
Chip, what's been the biggest difference from week 1 till now? What's the biggest improvement you've seen?
Improvement? We're bowl eligible.
Aside from that, is there anything?
Fired up.
Anything?
6-0.
Anything else that aside from that?
I think these guys are really consistent, and that's the great thing about them. There's not a lot of peaks and there's not a lot of valleys. Is that they understand that let's worry about what we control. We control our prep, we control our effort, we control our attitude. It doesn't make for great copy, and I know what you guys got to write down, but we're not going to change because it works for us. So.